Malfurion stepping forward, his voice carrying like the wind. He recounts the history of the Worgen, being like, hey man, I accidentally made the Worgen when I was fucking around with that pact form, and you know, none of this shit really would have happened if it wasn't for me, so maybe we should cut the Worgen just a little bit of slack. There's no way that they could have known, but at the very least, they've done what we didn't even know how to do, and they've managed to control this. So, they are no longer these beasts of legend. They are warriors of the Alliance. And everyone's like, yeah! Curdran Wildhammer rises up with a grin saying, the Wildhammer welcomes the strength of the Worgen. Yee yee. And applause and cheers begin to ripple through the grove, dwarves thumping their hammers, voices booming like distant thunder, and Tyrande calls for a vote. She's like, anyone who wants them in the Alliance, say aye. And ayes echo across the entire courtyard like a war drum. Basically every member of the Alliance, aye, aye. Who wouldn't want this fucking werewolf ripping through my enemies? And that's when the eyes fall on Varian Wrynn, who is standing silent. Silence falls across the summit. And he's like, sorry, I actually meant to speak up a little bit sooner. And he begins like kind of pondering the situation, analyzing the Gilneans in front of them. And the Worgen, thinking about the potential, the strategic power that they would provide. He's like, the Worgen do offer us a hunger that the Horde thrives on, a hunger that could strengthen us. As Gen's eyes begin to widen, Varian goes on, just being like, we could use the strength to finally meet them at their level of violence, and it might be just what we need. But that's when Varian's tone darkens as he turns his gaze onto Gen and says that he would still, despite that, never give consent to allow these mongrels into the Alliance. And as he does that, he spits and says that honor and trust, that's what they need. And that the Gilneans have never shown to have either. That they abandoned them once before. Why should we ever trust you again? As gasps ripple through the crowd, Edrig, Gen's second in command, begins to lunge forward in rage, but Gen just holds up one hand, holding him back, and a control of iron despite the insult. And the moment shattered the rising hope of the summon as Varian's words cut deeper than any blade could, and with the snap of his fingers, Varian once again is like, and it's time to do the thing where I leave, and he leaves. It's time to say the really fucked up thing and leave. You know that thing I do? Anduin, where you at? But as this happens, the ceremony dissolves into uproar, delegates shouting at one another over the tenuous unity that is beginning to fracture under the weight of all these old wounds.